Hello and welcome to Experiencing Love. I'm your host, Philip Jackson. I'm so glad that you're here. I decided to give you a very quick episode today, one where I just kind of condense everything that's been on my mind. Something quick, something digestible, yet still filled with love, filled with joy, filled with gratitude. So without further ado, let's begin. All right, ladies and gents, let me just tell you, I've had quite a good last few days. Ugh, good is such a weak word to really explain it. I've had an incredible last few days. And it was just one of those experiences, one of those days, or one of those weeks, I should say, where nothing big, nothing crazy had to happen for it to just be a good week. I've had these weeks before. I've told you about them. It's when you just have a normal week, one that you're able to appreciate, able to enjoy. Today, I was at work, finishing up work, about to head back home, when I saw some of my friends and some people I don't quite know yet sitting around looking at a climb. They're just kind of hanging out, and I go up to them and start talking to them. And I talk and I talk and I talk, of course. Or we all talk, Well, maybe that is or isn't true. But we're having this conversation. At one point, we even talk about like introverts and extroverts and how one of the people I'm talking to is an introvert. How he would never just go up to a group of people and just be like, hey, how's it going? Meanwhile, that is exactly what I did. I just kind of walked up, or I do that pretty often. I walk up all the time to anybody that's climbing, groups or solo, especially on a day where I might have just finished working or I'm about to start working. And I just walk up and say, hi, how's it going? Like, what are we climbing? How do we feel about climbing? You know, what's new? What's good? All of that stuff. I did just that. And it was this funny kind of situation that arose where this guy that I was talking to said something along the lines of, yeah, I come here to exercise, not so much to socialize. And I'm like, I come here to socialize, maybe to exercise sometimes. And then I go on to say, yeah, I talk to as many people as I can because eventually I'll find someone that will do top rope climbing or will belay me, or we could do lead climbing. And he says, oh, you lead climb? Like, yeah. Oh, let's lead climb together. Let's exchange phone numbers. And I just found this entire interaction amazing because I think back to a time where all I've ever wanted to do was go up to someone and become their friend and exchange phone numbers and make plans for later. It's like I've stopped trying so hard, and all of a sudden, things are just happening. Things are just coming my way. So anyways, I exchanged phone numbers with the guy, and we plan to climb sometime soon, or just whenever we want to do some lead climbing. I don't get to do lead climbing that often because you have to do the class for that. You have to be certified for that, and not as many people take that. It's usually for people who are a little bit more serious about climbing. They've maybe been climbing a little bit longer and decided to fork over the time and the money and the energy to pursue this next level. So whenever I find someone that's willing and able to and wants to lead climb, I get thrilled. I'm like, oh yeah, awesome, let's do it. I exchanged phone numbers really fast. After that, drove home. And on the way home, I was even like responding to some people that I meant to respond to earlier in the day, doing some calls, voice messaging, all that stuff. And I was just like, wow, life is so different than it was a few months ago. I guarantee I could find episodes here where I'm talking about wanting to be less lonely, wanting to have friends. And here, almost as if I created this for myself, which I kind of did, I'm living a life that I've always wanted. I'm surrounded by cool people. I love what I do, aka creating a community, socializing. There's just something so special to me about love and connection. I talk about experiencing love all the time and the different forms of experiencing love. This is one of those forms to me, opening up myself and who I am in order to be a friend to a stranger. I've made a lot of friends recently. It's been a lot of fun. I've been doing a lot of things at work, things I didn't expect to be doing. Today I actually ended up power washing a bunch of the rock climbing pieces that were super dirty from however many weeks of climbing and are going to be set right back on the wall, eventually, at least. And I left work being like, oh wow, I just got paid to power wash. Let's go. Like, that's so hype. That's so much fun. So with that all being said, this is a short episode because I still have more plans tonight. Yeah. I'm going to volleyball and I still have to eat. I still have to edit this. Actually, I might post this late and edit later. But there's still stuff I gotta do before I leave the house. I really enjoy just checking in real quick. I have friends kind of going through some things, whether it's their physical health, whether it's some mental things going on, mental health issues. I like being there for people. I like being there ready to support however I can. Maybe that's a phone call. Maybe that's giving someone a ride. Maybe that's just being a person to listen. That's what I love to do. And I can't wait to do more of it. I hope that you can find what it is that you love to do, what makes you you. I say that specifically because there was a time when I didn't know what I loved. I didn't know who I was or what drove me. It was this identity shifting period, and all I wanted back then was clarity, was focus. I wanted to know what made me, me. What makes Philip, Philip. I feel like I know now. What makes Philip, Philip is experiencing love, experiencing connection, and teaching and sharing people everything that I know so that they could live happy, healthier lives with more intention. So with that all being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. One filled with love, filled with connection, filled with happiness, filled with smiles. And until next time, just remember to always fill up with the love. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.